Is this thing on? Hello? Oh, yep. Hey, everybody. We are the DVD podcast. We talk about, we discuss, we watch videos, and we drink. And I'm Jack. This is my co-host.
Peter.
Co-host.
Caleb.
Co-host.
Nick.
And today we are covering a great movie, the original Top Gun. You know, it's got Maverick, Goose, Iceman. It's a family favorite personally, but and we'll give it off to Caleb here and talk about the fun drink that we're going to have while discussing the movie.
Yeah, so this drink is going to have Fireball, some Sprite, and then getting a little fancy with some orange bitters. The name of this drink is the Great Highball of Fire.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pass these around.
Thank you.
We each get our own.
Sound the crack.
Yep. There we go.
Start off, just crack open a little Fireball.
Goes in the cup, not your mouth, right away.
Oh, goodness.
That's cool.
Into the danger zone, boys.
And of course, Sprite to top it up. And then,
How much do we do of that? 1 or 2 taps or...
yeah, 1 to 2 dashes. Leave it up to you guys. Well, and there you have your Great Highball of Fire.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
really
one's
like
good.
that.
That's good.
I
That's
really
really
like
good.
that. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about the movie now. Got our drinks. We got the film. Now it's time to discuss. So, the movie is Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise, you know, beloved actor that we all know and love. He's in pretty much everything and everything action movies now. Does a lot of his own stunts. So the movie's aviation film, you know, as a fighter, you know, action movie about him being a fighter pilot for the U.S. Navy, I believe it was, and he goes to this school called Top Gun. I believe it's in California. To become it's the elite of the elite. The top fighter pilots in the U.S. go and compete against each other to see who's the best pilot in, you know, the world at that time, or in the U.S. at that time. And so he goes to the Top Gun, and it's the name of the school, and then, you know, gets some hiccups along the way, and, you know, overcomes a lot, and then ends up going to fight, you know, I think it was the Russians or whoever was in the MiGs, and that's some of the movie. So I guess let's start off with, what are some of the favorite scenes that we saw? You know, what are some of the saddest scenes that we saw in the movie? And Nick, would you like to start us off over there?
Yeah, I think as far as sadness goes, there's one obvious when Goose goes down.
So sad.
And that was a super sad scene. I remember when I was younger watching that, and that was like a tearjerker scene.
Yeah,
especially
totally.
whenever his wife goes up and hugs Maverick.
I cried. I
Yeah.
fully
This
cried.
kid, too. Because right before that scene also, or not right before it, but it's that scene where it's Goose and his son and his wife, and they're all playing the piano together, and it's so, like,
Singing
heartwarming.
Great Balls of Fire. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain.
Such a good
Such
scene.
a great scene.
But then, yeah. And then they go down, and that's just total tearjerker there.
Oh yeah.
It just, I can't even talk about it. It's just so sad.
All right, let's get past the sad part of the movie.
Yes.
There's so many good parts of this
Yes.
movie, so many notable quotes from the movie. What are some of you guys' favorite quotes from the movie, or quotes or scenes from the movie?
I would say a scene that I love is always just when they're on the aircraft carriers and they're all taking off. They've got, it's not even Tom Cruise or whatnot, but it's like they got all the guys working down there. They're all giving the hand signals, doing that. They got the lights going here, left, right, all that. And I don't know, that's just so cool to see how they work and how they operate, and just like how much like work and dedication goes into even getting one aircraft off there.
Well, and like the music's just perfectly aligned with it.
You know, such a good song that's going with it too.
You know, but as far as quotes go, there's one right after Goose goes down where, or no, right before where his wife says, "Take me to bed or lose me forever."
Yep.
And that's
Show me the way home,
That's
honey.
probably the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's definitely the notable volleyball scene too. I mean, Matt, and they're all in jeans and shirts off, and I gotta go. Where are you going? We got one game left. And a great movie too, or a great scene. I think probably the staple scene from the movie is him riding on the motorcycle too. Well, the jets are taking off, and he's on his motorcycle, all happy, and that's a great scene. And then
that's definitely my favorite, I think, because he's finding a way to kind of feel free, like he's flying in the jet, no matter where he is.
hair on fire, going Mach 2. Yep. Yeah.
I'd say another cool scene is just like, I think it's before the volleyball or whatever, where they're all in the bar and they're all like having a good time. They're all kind of like picking on each other too, doing all that stuff. And then Tom's like flirting with the bartender or whatnot. And then she starts like, I don't know if that's in the second movie or the first one, but she like rings the bell, gets into trouble or something like that. Like, this guy's being rude to a bartender or whatever. And they're like, oh, boo.
I think the first
They
one
throw
was,
him out of the bar.
Yeah.
I think
Literally throw him.
the first one was Goose was like, you got to have carnal knowledge of a lady on the premises this time. And then that was the you've lost the love and feeling where he, I hate it when she does that. And then they go in and they're doing all that stuff, singing to the girl who was actually there to see another guy. And then Maverick goes into the bathroom to chase her down one more time. And that was a great scene too. So some fun facts about it. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise did most of the flying in the movie, which I think he was one of like the 5 people in the world that have the license to fly U.S. owned, fighter jets, which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
that's always crazy. I mean, doing your own stunts, that's got to be super dangerous.
Especially those stunts.
Yeah, right.
It's like $1 million millions of dollars of piece of technology that they're entrusting to Tom Cruise, the movie actor or whatever. But
I think that's also kind of what makes it so great. I mean, the fact that he's actually doing it, that's got to make it, just that much better in the actual scenes.
Yeah. So that's still such a cool, still like one of my all-time dreams would be to be launched off one of those carriers. Like how fun would that going fucking 0 to 100 and whatever miles an hour in a matter of a second, and just
I'd be scared about the landing though. Have you ever seen landing on those things? It's like you gotta land, but then you're also being stopped by a thin little cable. And I guess it's not thin. I bet it's something that's holding them all back. But it's just
enough to stop a fighter jet. Gotta be pretty strong.
Yeah, and then you have and that's I think the reason that him and Maverick or Goose and Maverick went to Top Gun was because they had. The guy got like scared about his wife and kids. Now he has a baby girl that he's never seen, and Maverick had to fly him home or guide him home to make sure he lands okay. And then of course did a staple buzz the tower and made everyone mad at him. That's a
great scene. Great scene.
Yeah. All right. So what else? What they're we talked about the highs and lows. Obviously, I think one of the biggest things that he had to overcome during the movie was. Deciding whether or not to graduate with his Top Gun class. And he was talking with his instructor, who actually flew with Maverick's dad through the before he became an instructor, which is a cool, little fun fact there too. But, would you guys go to, if, we've never been in this
Would we go to Top Gun?
Would you continue to fly and graduate with your class like he had the same... predicament of that.
Personally, I would say yes, but I kind of have a little insider knowledge about this. One of my buddies' dads is actually a Top Gun. He, in the second movie, actually got John Hamm to hang out with him for a whole day just so that he could learn what it's like to be a Top Gun or whatever.
Another Mizzou alum.
Yeah, exactly. John Hamm.
Yep.
And but he eventually just I know he stayed in the Top Gun for a really long time, but then he eventually moved up the ranks. So I would say that after a while, you're probably gonna be in dogfights for a while. It's scary being all the way up there and risking your life. So I'd say I'd maybe want to like take off the Top Gun label and then try to go into higher rank because they respect you so much too if you're even in that category of being Top Gun. So I think that I would definitely get out of there.
Caleb?
I just don't even know.
Yeah.
I feel like they're both just, I guess, in the moments you just have to decide for yourself.
Yeah.
I would say I probably would graduate with the class. I'm thinking about it like from a military standpoint. If you're going to be in the military, you kind of have to deal with some of those hardships. Like,
True.
And I remember his instructor in the movie was saying that, like, would you want this guy going into like battle with you? You have to be able to deal with those, and you know he definitely proved himself in the end that like he can go through hardships and still like come out on top.
Overcome them,
Yeah.
Would you guys trust, you know, because Iceman has his name because he flies ice cold and makes no mistakes. Would you trust Maverick in the air to be your wingman?
That is risky because he is so like show offish and so like risky. I mean, there's even scenes where he's like, they're like, "Oh, follow me, do this or whatever," and he totally just swerves off a path or something like that. But he eventually does get the kill, so it's like maybe I want to be with a guy with that skill, but at the same time, he would scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, he'd definitely be a guy that you want up to go by himself, but they never go up by themselves, you know, because it's too unpredictable. So, I mean, that's just, I don't know if I'd want it. Like, I'd love to have him behind me because you know he'll get it done at the end of the day, but sometimes his means are scary to others.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want him to be my wingman, but you know, they got it done in the end, and you know, Iceman at the end was saying like, "You can be my wingman anytime." So clearly he proved himself
That was
to
such a
him,
cool
but
scene.
And he can be his because, you know,
Yeah.
he had the 2 or 3 confirmed kills that Iceman only had 1, you know?
Yeah.
no, he definitely ended up being the Top Gun, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Iceman won it, and
Yeah.
you know we were going to talk about this anyway, but Iceman Val Kilmer is his name.
Yeah.
He passed away recently, which is super sad. I don't know how old he was, but he was a great actor.
I'm
And
glad he
not
still
sure-
made it to the second movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what other films he's been in, but you know,
He was Batman and
Oh, actually,
the
Yeah,
90s,
I think so.
Yeah,
think.
that sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was. Actually, I have a question. Would you guys think that if Maverick had Goose with him on his side, do you think he could have beat Iceman in the competition or whatever? Because Goose was his side man.
I don't know if the instructors really like wanted Maverick to win just because of his tactics.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not
Well,
sure.
it
if
was
really would've made a
Jester.
difference.
I'm going after Jester. That was the instructor's call sign. And then he was like, you know, he's Iceman. You're looking good, and I'm going to get Jester, and then he just peels off.
Yeah.
I definitely think that he probably would, though. Like, I think, like, just comparing skills between pilots, I think, while Maverick is a little more willing to take risks, I do think that he has a little more skill in that, but I think it was all a mindset. Once he lost Goose, it just, like, something snapped in him, and it
Shell-shocked him.
wasn't,
I mean, think about it, that toll, though. Like, that guy is your probably closest friend. That guy, like, he's your wingman. Like, that's who you always hang out with. That's who you're talking with nonstop. And just to one day have him, and then one crazy accident that wasn't his fault, you know, just kills him. You know, it'd be such a sad thing to go through. And I think that, you know, serving the military is just a crazy thing, too, because, like, that happens, you know. On a basis that we'd probably not like to think about, but it does happen, you know, like on how often it happens. And
Yeah.
Well, and for like a couple days later, just to be thrown in the jet with another guy that like you might know, but like you don't know him like you did Deuce.
yeah, and can you trust him to do the same thing that he would have done? And it's a lot of give and take in that, I feel like, especially having a wingman.
Yeah.
Which is very scary.
Yep.
Another fun fact about the movie was there was one scene where the girl that he was going after, I forgot her name.
It's like Kelly or something.
Yeah. they were in the elevator at the flight school, and she had her hat on and very low. That was because the filming of Top Gun took way too long and went way over budget, that they had to like stop production for a couple months. And she went off to another movie set, and then they'd resumed. So she had completely changed her like hair color and everything for the new movie. So that's why she had the hat on. It was super low, and you could barely tell it was her.
Multitasking.
Yeah, seriously.
That's crazy. That's a little dedication there. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a scene when he was like risen in the elevator. Yeah, no, there was a lot of like love scenes in the movie, and dude, some of those were intense. I'm like a little much, honestly, but I get it for the movie's sake. But
It's Tom Cruise.
It is Tom Cruise. He did his thing, but yeah, some of those scenes were a little jarring.
If there was another actor that you'd like to see play that role, who would you want it to be?
Like instead of Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
I kind of think John Hamm. I know he had a different role in the movie or whatever, but I think he could have done it pretty well. I was trying to think of something else. Like I was
Clint
thinking,
Eastwood would be like in his prime, like a Clint Eastwood up in there. I think would have been cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tom Cruise. He's just like the man. For
he's
those
a
kind of
staple, yeah.
roles. Like that's like what he does.
He is Maverick.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. What else is fun about the movie? I think one of
Everything, man.
I mean, the soundtrack.
Oh,
We not brought up the soundtrack yet.
That is
a
amazing.
staple soundtrack. Like I have it on vinyl at home. I have, like that is still one of the coolest soundtracks. With Kenny Loggins did most of the songs.
Yeah.
And
he made it famous. I mean, like, there were a couple songs that weren't, like, they were, like, nobody songs or whatever, and just because of this movie, they were, like, huge. They grew, they got more popular, and it was just, like, without that movie, I don't think that they would even be famous or something like that.
Did he release them all for the movie? Yeah, so they were made specifically for him.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, no, definitely a good soundtrack. Where would you put that soundtrack above the Cars soundtrack?
Honestly, yeah. I think
for
that
you.
Gotta be.
Yeah, Cars has 2 or 3 good ones. I mean, you got Real World Gone with Sheryl Crow. You got Rascal Flatts singing "Life Is a Highway," but I mean, Top Gun. You have
It's a great
it's the
soundtrack.
Top Gun soundtrack.
Yeah. Even in the second movie, too, I don't know how many songs they brought over from the first movie to the second. I know the main, like, Danger Zone or whatever, that was one of the big ones, but, like, do you know if they switched up the soundtracks?
I think they
it
did a
was pretty
little bit,
similar.
yeah, but they definitely carried over some songs.
Yeah, because they're too good. Some of them were just too good not to keep out, and they're military songs almost. Like, I feel like you couldn't put it in any other movie besides that Top Gun.
You definitely need a lot of action if you are.
Yeah.
All right, now how about we rate these drinks?
Sure.
It's about time.
Rate the drinks and then we rate the movie after that.
What are we gonna rate it out of? What should we rate it out of?
Ooh. Miggs killed.
Rated out of Mig's Skill.
Splash 1, Splash 2.
Splashes.
Get it, man, we're going ballistics.
I like splashes. Let's give it out of 5 splashes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna rank this one pretty high. I like this one. I like the Fireball in it too. I don't normally love Fireball, but I'm gonna give this one 4 splashes. I think
4 splashes.
I think I'll give it like a 3.5 splashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're more of a gin guy, aren't you? So the Fireball is.
I'm gonna go high on this one. I'll give it a 4.5 splashes.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I think I'm right at 4.5 splashes too. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
Good.
that was killer.
I guess I'm still liking Fireball.
I
Wish I
used to
wasn't.
sipping on it.
Nope.
Yeah, if you want to rate the movie first, Jack, you can go. I think I know what you're gonna get.
Oh, I'm a 5 splashes out of 5 splashes. This is such an all-time high movie for me. It's such a good movie. I
Same
mean,
here.
you get the roller coaster of emotions. You know, you get the sadness, you get the love, you get the laughter, you get it all, and it just brings it on home in this movie.
Gotta go with the same 5 splashes. Just such a classic. So cool. Even though that it kind of connects to my friends and family a little bit, I thought it was so cool and just 5 splashes.
I mean, I'll I'll agree with you. I'll give it 5 splashes. I think that like this is something that like the story was great, like you said. It had everything in it that you need in a great story, but also like it's something that like just the setting of it you don't see very often ever, and the fact that they were able to capture everything with the jets and and all of those scenes is really cool and really crazy, especially for like 1975.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, I think I love this movie. I think I got to rate it higher than I rated The Drink, so I'm going to give it 5 splashes as well.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I think it deserves it. And,
I was gonna say, if
yeah, it's
not, you
great.
can leave.
Yeah,
5 splashes all around though.
Yeah.
great movie.
Well, thanks for joining us on this podcast. We'll see you in the danger zone later.